Welcome to American Trucker with your host, Raymond White, telling the story of those who move America. Today we have Jordan Fojt, owner of Ship Our Stuff out of Dayton, Texas. Jordan, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Man, another beautiful day. Hey, to get us started here, my friend, why don't you tell us about Ship Our Stuff today, the number of trucks you run, what you haul, where you operate?
Well, we're out of Dayton, Texas. We got 7 trucks to this day. We haul, raw materials and tankers, hazmat, throughout really the lower 48. We pretty much go all over. Mainly, most of it's in Texas and Oklahoma and Louisiana. And, we started back in probably 2012 is where I started at. Doing hot shotting, kind of started there and then just grew it. And, we got up to like 14 trucks and COVID hit and kind of knocked us back down. But we're still trucking.
Yeah, no, I love that. The resilience there. What did you feel like was the big reason for taking you down from 14 to 8? Was it the lack of equipment or drivers or?
A little bit of both. Really, mainly, I guess equipment would be our biggest thing. Right before the pandemic, I had quite a bit of trucks that were ready to be traded in. I was doing them probably about 500,000, trading them in, getting new ones, just kind of keeping the maintenance and keeping the repairs to a minimum. And COVID hit, and they kept telling me, oh, maybe a month, 2 months, that'll be over, and you can buy trucks again and this and that. And I kind of, went on for about a year, and they said, oh, you need to order trucks. And I was like, well, I never ordered trucks, but I always had the luxury of just going and buying them and being the truck the next day kind of deal. And just played the waiting game, and it just bit me in the butt. And, and slowly but surely we were losing trucks left and right. And I finally ordered trucks, but that was a year and a half ago, and they should be in about, October, October, November this year.
Wow. Well, it sounds like there was a lesson learned there. I'm sure.
For sure. For sure. Just never seen that before.
Yeah. Well, we hope we don't have another COVID and things get back to normal, but, we don't have to turn this into a political conversation, but, I don't know if I see that myself in the horizon, but.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, man. Well, one of the things that I know about you is that you have a great relationship with your clients, and if correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand too, you have a lot of all of your business is direct through the shipper. It doesn't seem like very much brokered loads. So, how do you approach the relationship building with your customers?
Well, just really, it was from the beginning just hustle. It took a lot of hustle to get to that point. I had my father-in-law was a great teacher. I owe him everything. I didn't come from this kind of background, and I was in construction. Our whole family's done construction our whole lives. And uncle came in, sold the company, and which is fine, and just kind of left us all like, oh, we got to kind of defend for ourselves kind of deal and figure out what we're going to do. And my father-in-law talked me into getting into trucking, and he helped me out every way. And, just started out real small and just really hustled and did a bunch of attaboy kind of deals and just worked my way up, just hustle.
That's awesome, man. Well, what do you, what was it like? Obviously sounds like you were brand new into trucking from the beginning, but how was it getting into the tank truck space, especially on the chemical? It seems like, a lot of people maybe steer away from that due to the nuances of the business or the, more stringent requirements. But I mean, what was it like transitioning into that?
It wasn't bad at all. Just, I've always been a hard worker, and my parents put me, made me who I am on, just really buckled down and had determination and had a goal and just worked hard and learned it, surrounded myself around, people that's done it for, 25, 50 years and just learned from them and just push through it.
I love that. I love that more than you know. Well, tell me, what are the goals that you have for your company?
I guess right now the goal would be to get back where I was before COVID would be my first goal.
Yeah.
I'd like to grow it to, be, a family business. We're a family business, but, pass it down to my son and, just keep growing something that will just sustain itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to get your son out from behind the baseball and the drag racing car to
Yeah. Oh yeah.
slowly
He,
transition him into a semi and running one.
oh yeah. Yeah. We already been teaching him. He drives around in the truck yard and, he goes with me and move trailers around and stuff like that. And, he enjoys it. He likes it.
That's awesome. So he's showing an interest in the business. And remind me, how old is he?
So he's 10 years old. He just turned 10.
Just turned 10. That's awesome. Well, Jordan, you recently implemented some forward-facing dash cameras that, upload to the cloud and have the telematics tied into that. How has that helped you manage your fleet?
Oh, tremendously. It's really helped out a lot with, incidents and really learning how the drivers drive. Just really just helping out with, like I said, incidents it kind of keeps the drivers in check, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, well, you were using you were always had dash cameras, and you were using the ones with the SD cards, and
That's
of
correct.
course, yeah, I know that it had the deal where the memory wasn't always reliable in making sure that you got it. And so how was it with have you had any pushback from your drivers with more in-depth telematics at all?
No, not at all. They really like it. It kind of gives their story, visual, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
You could always tell them what happened, and you couldn't prove it. So this
Yeah.
kind of gives them, the visual aspect of that, and they love it. They really do. It's really
That's
been beneficial.
that's cool. And are you using the scorecard feature of that? Are the drivers able to see where they rank among the other drivers, or how are you
We
doing
do,
that?
we do, we do, and we kind of make a game out of it. And some of it's it's really really fine, and you just got to kind of tune it out a little bit on some of the stuff. But it's really done a great job.
Yeah, that's great. Well, what's the biggest challenge that you see the trucking industry facing over the next few years?
I mean, there's a bunch of them for us because we're a small company. Equipment is number one, I guess. Trying to keep the government keeping their hands out of it is another.
Mhm.
The EPA, like today I had to go. We've been fighting a DPF problem with the trucks, and it's
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really shut us down quite a bit over the last few years with this death stuff. But I just
Yeah.
really just equipment is my problem.
Yeah. Now, are you with the DEF? Are you talking about your older Peterbilts, or are you talking about just the maintenance issues with the DEF?
Well, with the newer trucks, it's with the diesel exhaust fluid
Yeah.
and the whole process with it coming out of the exhaust and so many sensors and shutting the trucks down completely. And having the right tools to fix them and diagnose them. And I mean, you could go down a rabbit hole and you could just, you
Yeah.
could walk away with 15, 20 grand in the hole and still not understand it and still not find the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's frustrating, and it's always it's not. I guess it's not like it's a lot of that stuff. Do you try to work on it? I know you've got your mechanic. Do you try to do a lot of that, or you just end up having to go to the dealership? And are you getting a lot of that stuff covered by warranty, or are you kind of having to come out of pocket with
Well,
the
we
expensive
were out of
hourly?
warranty, but yeah, we were out of warranty, but we ran them past the miles because we couldn't get the new trucks in.
Mhm.
So we were going to the dealerships, and you can really get taken advantage of.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we basically just had to buckle down and learn it ourselves, and we're able to do quite a bit of it. It's just you're still fighting it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we need to get a change of administration and somebody, running the EPA that, has some common sense, but, I don't know. It's frustrating, and I've got a lot of clients myself that, they just they get the glider kits and run the old equipment, and just cuz they don't even want to mess with any of that. Yeah. you know.
Yeah, and I looked into that, and at the time it was more expensive than buying a new truck, and
Mhm.
then I just couldn't wrap my head around, buying a new chassis and putting an old motor in it, and then
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
now that's I wish I'd have done it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's and then but you could have gone the other route and maybe be thinking you would have wished it's sometimes like I think the root of the problem's the government, but
Yeah,
that's the
I hear you.
that's the root of the problem. Well, another thing that I know about you, my friend, is that you do really you have a really low driver turnover. And what is your approach to management and managing your guys and keeping them loyal to you, and not having such a high turnover that the industry typically faces?
Yeah, we're family owned, and we treat it like that. And every person that works here, they're family. We eat with them, we do stuff with them on the weekends. It's just all family. No matter
Yeah,
what.
that's
And
great.
we try to squash problems when there's problems, and we can do it instantly. And we try to do the best we can do, and we try to be better than the other, and we offer as much as we can. Our pay is right there with everybody. We give them 100% health insurance. We do basically everything but 401, or something like that. But we're looking into growing into that. But
Yeah.
basically, just keeping it family.
Yeah, I love that. Is your wife friends with all your drivers' wives?
Yep.
And
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, we all
yeah,
try to, and I got which I'm really proud of. I got about 3 guys that retired from me, and which I was pretty proud about that, because I
no,
really
that is
take
cool.
take that because I like to keep these drivers here. It's a benefit to us, and give them a career that they can retire from.
No, yeah, provide a good good living for great living for their family, and yeah, no, I love that. And that's I sometimes I don't think that the bigger companies, especially the publicly traded ones, you don't know how much they actually care whether their drivers meet retirement, or they just like you said, they don't their wives aren't friends. Yeah, they're
Yep.
not they're not quite taking care of them the same
Yep.
way.
No, you're right. You're right. And that's what we try to do.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, Jordan, your time is appreciated, and I again, this has been great. And the trucking business is just such an essential thing to our country, and now more than ever, we need to stand together. So I thank you for sharing.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely.